Hello, all, and welcome. This is Dice of Ages presenting CrestVahllen, the Baker's Dozen. I'm your not-so-humble Dungeon Master, TJ, and I had the distinct pleasure of having at the video conference table. We're going to go right here to Sean is up first.
Hey, I play Tamara Grounder, a Dragonborn sorcerer. I hope you dig these bones I'm throwing down. I feel like I'm drifting away from like archaeology into paleontology, but that's fine.
I mean, that's okay. That's fine. It's like
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's not the same thing. Please don't get mad at me. Please don't at me. Up next, all over there, we have Noelle.
Hi, I'm Noelle, and today I'm playing Mission the Ankmut, the Kenrin Horizon Walker Ranger / fighter, and you know what? I'm not a dog.
No, she is not. As much as I say that she is not. Let me close a bunch of these video things to make sure that our stream is okay. It's okay though because we're recording it. Great. Great. Stream's nice and the YouTube says it's not receiving enough video, but I'm sure it's fine. I also have the recording, so we'll edit it and upload it. Cool.
Not receiving enough video?
Yeah, I don't know. It has to do with like bandwidth issues, and
Can you
every once in a
quantify
while,
the amount of video.
Yeah, via data, like megabytes, gigabytes, the whole thing. Yeah, video is just data, my dude. Okay, and then we have right below me, Angela.
Hello, I play Nakano Tiefling Rogue, and I look up in the opening of the ceiling and I go, a whole new world.
Perfect.
Yes, destroyed the idols, and you're like, oh, the world's a better place now.
Breathe a little bit better.
That we know.
And I love how, like, while you're doing this in the background is just like a floating bulbous, like blowfish-looking scoop. It's like flounder just floating about. Great, and last but not least, right here we have Cameron.
I play Scoop Crinkle, Cleric of the Tempest. How do dolphins get high?
I don't know. How do they get high?
Seaweed.
Actually,
I'm a goldfish. That's the only reason why I used it.
They use pufferfish to get high.
that is actually very true.
That's why I did the joke.
That's great. Fantastic. Love that for us. Very much love that for us, but also that was a collective groan, and I love how we all had the same exact timbre and pitch when we did that groan. Okay, great, cool. Right, so you guys destroyed some idols. You guys are ready to, I guess you guys are trying to GTFO that whole thing. We're going to talk about it. What was we were talking on the before the stream about stuff we should say for the stream? What was one of those things? I forgot.
That it's still the 31st of High Lock.
It is still the 31st of High Lock, yeah, because this is the same day that you guys got off the ship, went onto the island, fought the elementals at the cenote, drained the cenote, went through the portal, met with Blub Glub, and went into the city and destroyed the idol. You guys have all done this on the same day. Granted, you guys are exhausted. It is probably like, like late night, maybe even like midnight. Maybe it's like now going into the 32nd, just because of how many hours and how long it's been. Then you've taken a short rest or two. But you guys are pretty spent, if I remember correctly. You guys
I got nothing left.
Yeah, you got which
like one spell,
but you guys still have to like potentially get out of this city, so you guys are between a rock and a hard place. But without further ado, do y'all want to play some D&D?
Yeah. Oh, I picked a new spell if anybody cares.
Oh yeah, sure. Ooh. Oh, right. So that's the other thing I want to say is that you guys will be leveling up to level 8, but not until you take your next long rest.
So
I already did all my numbers.
Yeah. So just well, you said you were all spent, so you're all spent.
Yeah.
So because that's how level up and like works, especially in the way I do it, is that like it's not until you rest, unless there are sometimes you'll like level up mid battle just because for like things. I feel like for here, let's just do it. Let's see what happens. I don't mean let's level you up right now. I'm saying like right now you guys are still level 7. Right now you guys are still level 7. But if like something like crazy happens, and don't be like, hey, was that crazy enough to happen? Because I know Cameron's actually gonna do that.
Are you telling us?
To do crazy
Wait.
stuff? No, that's not what I'm saying. We'll see. I think it's really just gonna come down to like what the fuck happens as you're trying to get out of the city. Because there might be some cool role play moments where like I think we're just gonna have to improv this. We'll see what happens. But like canonically, or like the way I do the mechanics is that you guys level up after a long rest because you've like had a moment for your body to like heal and your short-term memory starts to go into your long-term memory, and that experience actually manifests as into gathering a next level and everything. So technically you're still really spent at level 7, but we'll see what happens. Fair? So that means, so if you guys already changed your character sheets, don't worry about it too much. Just try to remember that you have a couple of less hit points than you did before you leveled up. Unless some of you I think some of you did take damage too from the creature. So if you guys remember something like that, we'll try to just do it by the cuff. Don't worry about it. If someone gets hit with a lot of damage, or if someone takes a lot of damage, we might be like, okay, I think you might be unconscious because of you might have taken some damage before, but we'll figure it out. I don't want to be too much of a stickler about it. But as it stands right now, we're going to go into as you being level 7 and pretty spent. Great. Here we go. Let's do the recap then, shall we?
Do I get an extended spell slot, or is that still off the grid until I take a long rest?
No, you are fully still level 7. Nothing has changed.
Okay. Just
yeah. All right, let's do this. So, as Masheni ponders the connection between the pillars, the idol, the broker, and the sunken queen, Tammy snoops about, sneaking into the back room of the temple. There, he snags some sea leaf scripture and regards a beautiful painting depicting the salty mistress herself, a group of sea elves, and an eldritch idol. Meanwhile, a scoop wraps himself up in a stolen clerical robe to make him look like a large, deformed blowfish. Nakano distracts the salt marshal with a massive request. A massage request, while Tammy hears whispers coming from the stairs that lead further down. The blue dragonborn returns to the group as the gang noticed the individual who underwent the ceremony now looks remarkably like a sea spawn, not to mention that the individual showed no signs of life before the ceremony. The group attempts to sneak downstairs, but a scoop gets stuck in a doorway, eventually becoming freed with the help of a parish member, his excuse being that he needs to use the bathroom badly. The salt marshal also awakens, but is lulled back to sleep by the soothing sounds of magically produced shore waves, delving down into the belly of the temple. The coral hallway gradually becomes akin to the odd stone or material that the idol is made out of. And the gang is quickly enveloped by darkness, as Nakano leads the group forward into a dome-shaped chamber covered in carved pictography depicting the origins of the sunken city, including a large tentacled mass of the ceiling at the ceiling center. Tammy lights up the chamber before checking on the idol contained in the book, its demeanor torn between excitement and fear. Nakano scurries up to the ceiling, noticing that a portion of it seems to detach and extend. With a poke from Tamrin's mage hand, a telescopic stalactite descends from the dome. Magic infusion fills the carved glyphs upon its form as a resonator emits a sonic field upon the pedestaled idol, causing some of its constituent matter to break off in microscopic particles. It seems that this is what catalyzes the blessing ceremony, injecting and transforming the deceased into sea spawn. The gang decide to put the pedestaled idol into the book with the other, as screaming, gnashing, ripping, and snapping exude from the book, tearing it nearly asunder. The group cover the noises up with sounds of farts and defecation until the sounds die down, leaving a bleeding page behind. The page is removed and rematerializes as a collection of bloody limbs of the fleshy creature that the idol represents, the pieces quickly dissolving in the atmosphere. A wounded creature is left in the book where the first idol was deposited, which is torn out and placed upon the pedestal. Nakano traps the half-flesh, half-idol creature that emerges between the pedestal and the sonic stalactite with a robust web. But, like a cornered animal, it lashes out with unfettered power. Luckily, Tamrin takes notice while running in circles around the chamber, keeping the book out of reach from its retreat, and countering the attempt at enfeebling Misheni. Nakano rips the idol from its fleshy form. Nakano rips the idol from its fleshy form, weakening it further before eviscerating the remaining animated shape. The 2 idol bits are placed back on the pedestal as raw magic is funneled into the sonic spire, causing it to burst in a loud explosion of dust, leaving the idol in pieces disintegrated. A scoop casts Speak with Dead on the dissolving corpse of the creature, while the party flee down the tunnel, learning the creature was created from madness, being known as Yitzgladl, the false wave. Welcome back to CrestVahllen.
I think that's
Just... When does it end? I
it
forget.
looks like an octopus. 10 fingers.
And we'll turn it back down. Here we go. All right, cool. And then we're going to put on some tense music here because stuff is happening. Okay, cool. Cool. Let's see how we are on. Yeah, let's turn it down just a tad more. There we go. Okay, cool. So, so you destroyed both idols, and Nakano was the first one, already started booking it down the hallway back to the temple and, keeping an eye out, being ready to be like, we should get the fuck out of here. We should get the fuck out of here, because there was quite a few loud noises. You had woken up the high priest, or known as, what's his name?
Salt Marshal.
The Salt Marshal. And he had gone down to hey buddy, he had gone down to check on
He's
you.
like, hey.
No, the dog just came up.
I know. It was just perfect timing.
Yeah, I'd come to check on you and be like, "Is everything all right?" And you're like, "Oh, everything's fine. Everything's good. Just leave. I just need moments." But then went back and supposedly back to sleep. But a bunch of big sounds happened because, one, you guys blew up the stalactite, you blew up the idols, they're both destroyed. There was that screaming and gnashing and tearing. So a lot of this was by no means, this is no longer a stealthy venture. This is by no means some things have been, some cover has been blown. Maybe not. Well, I mean, we'll see. At least lots of loud noises. So we'll see. I think one of you used thaumaturgy to make more sounds of defecation and farting.
I think that was.
If that's correct.
Tamrin?
Was that Tamrin?
Yeah.
I don't have that ability, but
Well,
I think,
I mean, I use thaumaturgy.
Oh, you used
but I
thaumaturgy.
don't-
That's what it was.
and then I made it smell like it.
but it smells good.
This is ridiculous. Okay, cool. So here's the deal. I guess you. Oh no, you're flipped again.
Oh.
let's get rid of that.
If you can there you go. There should be an option in there where you can change it so it doesn't auto
I
flip.
think we tried that before, but it never
Oh, it
worked.
didn't work. That's okay. That's okay. So I guess if I'm assuming correctly, you guys are booking it, or are you guys trying to act like everything's fine?
Hang out.
Okay, but are you guys? So the evening, I guess, is yours. What are you guys doing?
I assume we book it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cast Pass Without a Trace. It's my last spell
Oh.
slot. But
Okay.
Perfect.
I'm gonna do the Aureate Lotus
Oh, you're gonna
That's real.
regain another 3rd level spell slot.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You got it. You use your action. You say the command word. The Orient Lotus blooms in a nice bright and pink and like puce color as like
Thank you.
some pollen exudes and you inhale the pollen and you feel refreshed with another spell slot, and then it starts to dim and close as its petals need time to recharge.
I'm going to cast Enhance ability on Macheni, me, and Tamron.
Oh,
Or
if you
Eagle
cast it
Splendor.
you can if you cast it at 3rd level, you can cast it on more creatures.
Yes.
Awesome. You're gonna for Eagle Splendor, so that's what?
Advantage on Charisma.
Charisma. Awesome. So Macheni, Nakano, and Tamron all
No,
get.
just Macheni and Tamron and me. Nakano's far. I don't know where she is. She bulked.
Okay.
She bulked.
So
She can
Macheni.
actually handle herself. Like she actually has more charisma, I think.
Yes,
than
she has a
Tamron.
very high stealth, and she has pass without a trace. So I believe it's you have to stay within 30 feet of Macheni. Is that how it works? For it to still work.
Macheni and Tamron, yes.
Yeah, but I can reactivate who within that bubble, basically. Yeah, within 30 feet of you.
Right. Yeah. So for you to maintain the bonus of the +10 to your stealth, you have to remain within 30 feet of Macheni. She gives off like a 30-foot aura, a radius of like everything's quiet, like you don't leave footprints and that kind of deal. Like you get a +10 stealth. So so as long as you stay within 30 feet of her, you'll get that bonus. But additionally now, then Macheni, a Scoop, and Tamron all get advantage for I believe it's the next hour on all charisma-based checks. So if you guys need to talk your way out of something, wow, this is a great idea. You guys, awesome. You use your 3rd level slot to do that. Cool. So are you guys running or walking or sneaking?
I think we run and just if anybody asks us, we say there's a big explosion. Didn't you hear us? We're running.
Yeah, let's do that.
That was
Okay,
scary.
cool. Like
We're
you're trying to
getting outta
act
here.
like bystanders, like fleeing from a scene.
like
Blending into the crowd. Okay, cool. You reach the stairwell that goes up, and you are now going into about like 3/4 of the way up the stairwell. You see the salt marshal in what looks like seaweed, like a seaweed muumuu, and because they just went to sleep, and they're like, what's going on?
Run! Explosion! Run!
Oh no! Why was there an
Get outta
explosion? Just do me a favor. Just go. Somebody roll a deception check for me. Just to like make it look like, oh yeah, no, we didn't cause the explosion. We were
I
like
wanna do this.
down there at the center of the explosion and it had nothing to do with it. Yeah.
Maybe we should do a collective deception.
You can do a
Whoa.
collective one. You can do a collective
The
one.
hell?
But
So I got a
here's.
7.
But don't forget, because
That's cool.
a Tamron, a Scoop, and Macheni have advantage on all these.
Right.
I have advantage.
Yes, because of Eagle Splendor.
17 and 16.
That's cool. That feature works nicely, Cameron. Nice.
What
nice.
happened
I know,
if I
it's
rolled 2
cool.
dice and one of them
It's a setup.
landed as an 18, the other one came and knocked it over?
Well, you keep the 18, and then you tell me what the new dice says.
It was lower, so.
Okay, so then you keep the 18 plus whatever your deception modifier is.
21.
21. What'd you get, Cam?
16.
16 minus 1, right? Because.
No, it was 17 minus 1 because I got 17 on the first one.
Oh, okay. So 16 for you, 21. Machete, you didn't say anything. It was just those two.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, you guys are like, we don't know. We were pooping and there was a big explosion. The gas, it was a methane. It was a gas leak and someone lit a match and they shouldn't have lit a match. Yeah, you guys, and the salt marshal was like, oh, and he starts to like grab a couple things. Like you see him like run to the corner of the room and grab a bunch of the seaweed like leaf scriptures to try to like save historical documents as like as the building is now like starting to shake, but like underwater shake, so it's that weird like in your head shake, and it feels like there's like small tremors, like the structural integrity is kind of messed up now. He just runs into his room and starts doing that, not paying attention to you guys anymore.
We're safer. Those documents would be better with me. We're faster than you.
Persuasion check, please.
Come on, Tammy.
At advantage. Don't forget, all these checks are at advantage.
20. No, 23.
23. 23.
23.
23, great. Okay. That's amazing. Let me just roll something for him real quick, just so I'd see just how discerning. I'm gonna roll a little insight check on him real quick. See what's going on here. Okay. He got a 19 on his insight check, but your 23 beats him with your persuasion
Nice.
check, and he's like, "Great! Like you take these, and I'll meet you somewhere where it's safe. By perhaps one of the inns. I'll grab more." And he just hands you a good like 6 rolled up like seaweed scriptures, just boom, just like that. And you grab them and you book it. Are you out of here?
Yeah.
Cool. Here's what I'm gonna say. A bunch of parish members and clerics and other people are fleeing from the scene because like shit's starting to go down, loud noises, things are crumbling. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna have you all roll stealth checks, and these stealth checks are to like Assassin's Creed style blend into the crowd kind of deal. Make sense?
Yep.
Don't
plus 10?
plus 10. Yeah, as long as you remain within 30 feet of Misheni, which I assume you guys are, you get a plus 10. You don't have advantage, you just have plus 10.
Oh, okay. It was 26 now.
So don't forget to roll the dice, add your stealth modifier, and then add another plus 10. That's how that works.
You got a 7?
17.
17
my-
total.
Oh God. Okay. I was like, how?
Let's do it. Tamara, what'd you get? 17, you said?
Plus
17.
17. Misheni.
29.
29. Nakano.
30, 20.
Dirty 20. Really? Okay, cool. And go ahead, Scoop.
26.
26. Guys, this is pretty good. Yeah, you do a pretty good job. I envision it as a Scoop, kind of like just so like buoyant in this very moist atmosphere that there's so many people moving about that he kind of just gets pushed up a little bit and kind of bounces around the crowd like a beach ball a little bit as he just kind of, you guys just kind of float. You guys aren't underwater, you're still like in air, but it's just very, very, very like dank, heavy, moist air. And so you guys are just splitting out there. You guys got your robes on, you're still in your disguises. You start spewing out the entrance to this temple. Where are you guys headed?
I want to get Blood Club.
You guys want to go to the hotel, like the Love Hotel? What was it called? It was called. Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
Sean's disappointed.
Oh, the Siren's Call.
Sorry.
Iron's Call.
I personally feel like he might be dead weight to the party, but if everybody wants to save Bub Club, I'm there for it.
I could go either way.
You guys are having this conversation among a bunch of like screaming people,
Yes.
like fleeing from a scene, like in a crowd. You're doing your best to like hold each other so you don't get split apart. A Scoop's just like on top, being like, maybe get Blub Glub.
I mean, we could. We did say we were going to, like save him and protect him and stuff. I mean, this isn't going to cause the whole city to collapse, right?
No,
No.
Yeah.
I think he's okay.
Yeah.
He's fine.
What?
What?
What? What? There you go.
So what's the consensus? What are you guys doing? Because like you
What do
guys
you
have to
think,
make
Connor?
decisions pretty quick.
Leave him.
I mean, if the brothel is along the way,
Cold and calculated.
Is it on the way?
Is it on the way? Well,
To the
so
portal.
here's the deal. From the way you entered,
This sucks though.
the wharf that you
It's
entered,
such a wet noodle.
the wharf that you entered the sunken city from, technically it is on the way. Granted, there could be another exit to the city. That's just the one entrance / exit that you came into the city. So I mean, like, who knows? It is, a dome like city, so it's not like you could. It's 3-dimensional, so you could like go in any direction you want. Like, it's not.
Well, we should go in the direction of the crab.
Yeah. So the wharf that you entered the city into was Shoals Wharf that you entered the city from is the one that was most like directly the way the crow flies closest to the Crab Reef Cave, if that makes sense.
yeah, that makes sense.
How about if we see him on the way out?
Are you able to do that?
I mean, we can walk by. Look, we can casually walk by.
You want to keep your eyes out for him?
Sure.
Okay,
Can we
cool.
also keep, or can I keep my eye out for just any names of the city itself, like even like on park benches or like monuments
On
being
park benches, like in memory of.
Donated to the Parks and Rec.
Donated to the parks,
Yeah.
by Sarah and James Harper.
It might be on some of the documents.
You want to try to speed read some documents as you?
No, I'm just saying later we might.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we don't
you got
forget.
it. So you're keeping an eye out for Blub Glub on your way out, and you're also trying to like find out like where the fuck are we, and do we? You're trying to like speed get like roadmap area some more information on what this place is. Okay. Couple things. I'm gonna say, Macheni, go ahead, roll perception check. Those of you who want to keep an eye out for Blub Glub, please also roll perception check for me.
Ooh, I
There's too
forgot
many
to do
fish
that.
people around. I can't read the park benches. Damn it!
Okay.
For some reason, they're all sitting on the park benches and not moving.
Why? It was a 5, so I feel like,
Perception.
yeah.
I forgot to roll perception.
Oh, you forgot to roll perception?
Well, I'll roll perception to see what the.
There's 30-20.
Dirty 20 to look for Blub Glub. Okay.
I mean, he's my pupil. Like,
He's your pupil.
or like kind of.
I'm sorry, I
guess.
can't hear you, Sean. Can you do that again?
Sorry, 11 to find out the name of the city.
Okay, cool. A couple things. Let's do Tamarin and Macheni first. You guys are looking around. One of the big problems is that because people are like, droves of people are like fleeing from a certain area from a lot of noise, and you like start to like look behind you and you see like a bunch of the silt start to kick up as the temple is like starting to collapse, and a couple of the buildings next to it are also starting to collapse. Like structural integrity of the actual area and perhaps even the area under it is like caving in. It's like almost a whole city block is like collapsing in on itself. So droves of people are rushing about. You catch some signage here and there, but again, it is in, from what you can understand, some old primordial language, very like Aquan. It is like, in an oceanic type language. There isn't really too much in common. You do catch a couple things in common that say like, in here or like talk a little bit more generic terms, but nothing, any proper nouns or anything that actually talks about names of things are fully in Aquan. And I don't believe any of you guys speak Aquan, do you?
Nope.
Yeah. So
No, just primordial.
yeah, you guys. So you like recognize that. So Macheni, you see that and you recognize, oh, that's some sort of dialect of primordial, but you can't fully read it. I would say with that, you might be able to maybe later on try to like copy what it is that was written there and like try to write it down and see if anybody else can read it. But and right now, especially in this hurried moment, you can't understand what's going on. Scoop, you were keeping an eye. You rolled 20 to keep out for Blub Glub.
Yes.
You guys are rushing through the crowds. You're doing your best to stay together. Here's what I'm going to have you do real quick before we resolve that perception check. I want you guys to all roll strength saving throws as the crowd itself like is pushing, and it's like mob mentality, like physically like pushing you apart to see if you because they're kind of all pushing you guys along in one way, to see if anybody gets splits up from the rest of the group.
Apparently, I
An
do.
explosive bout of diarrhea.
Scoop, what'd you get?
5.
5.
Wow.
Tamron?
Really looking
15.
for Blood Club.
15. Nakano?
18.
18. All right.
Nice.
Misheni?
18.
18. So, in very beach ball-esque form, a Scoop just kind of starts like bouncing on top of the crowd and floating away from you guys. You guys notice him leave. But here's the thing: as Scoop kind of like gets floated off to more of like the sides of the crowd as they're moving down like the main drag of the road or like the main causeway. You do start to head towards a few of the buildings, and you do see what looks like perhaps, I mean, there's quite a few Kuotoa people here, but what looks like could be Blub Glub, like not fully clothed, scaling out of a window from one of the buildings, near from where you are, like climbing down the building, trying to escape and run as well. And you're kind of like floating and like bouncing, but like getting pushed up in that direction.
Thaumaturgy. Blub Glub!
You very loud Thaumaturgy say his name. Okay, cool. Oh, he got an 18 for his like dexterity check and his perception check. So he like turns around, he hears you. He almost
check?
Yeah, he's scaredy check because he got startled, right? I wasn't sure if he was gonna let go of the building and fall.
Me too, honestly.
But he's like, he holds on and he turns around and he's like, it doesn't recognize you because you're disguised. But he's like, what's going on? Who was that?
We're going!
Who's we? Doesn't recognize you.
You're a
Can I
blowfish,
just
my
do
guy.
this a little, I guess?
Oh, you
What's
pull
that?
back. Yeah, you pull back your thing, and he's like, "Oh, okay, cool." So you kind of float on over. Eventually, like you find a little bit more purchase. You start batting people's hands who are just kind of like throwing you up, being like, "Ah," and you're like, no. Finally, like get purchase on the ground, and like you help him down. So it's just you and Blub Glub. Unfortunately, you don't know where the rest of your group is. You cannot see the rest of the baker's dozen among the throngs of people rushing, and you guys are kind of like very Kronk style, but like up against the wall, trying not to get peeled off the wall by the group.
I'm just gonna tell him to direct me to
The Shoals Wharf.
the crab brave.
If I don't see a scoop, I'm gonna call out as saw him float away. Right?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Can you get the mic a little closer? Sorry.
Since we saw him float away, right? I'm just gonna call out his name when I don't see him.
That's so perfect.
You got it. You're just gonna scream his name among the bunch of screaming people.
That's all I got.
Okay, yeah, cool.
I don't have magical.
All right, why don't you go ahead, just roll a luck check for me.
What is that? Just a D20.
Just roll a d20 and just tell me the number, and then we'll see if that
14.
14. What's your passive perception is what? A Scoop?
Passive 20.
20.
God damn.
Okay, so here's the deal. I have to roll a 6 or higher on this, and if to bridge the gap to see for my luck check to see if that happens. I rolled an 8. Okay, so a Scoop, you hear Tamron's voice among the boop, 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 boop. very Aquaman style, among the throngs of fish people and crustacean people and just people that can live underwater and sea elves and all that jazz. And you get like a basic direction as to where they are. And he says it a couple times, so you get the idea of like how fast they're going.
I grab his noodle arms and just go.
You grab Blub Glub's noodle arms and like push your way into the crowd. Sure. Here's what I'm gonna say. Go ahead and roll athletics checks to pierce your way through the crowd to try to get a return to the rest of your group.
Natural 20.
Wow.
I wish I could show you that, but like it's like hanging off my table right now.
What happened to the
fun.
cool little dice you had on your screen?
The camera, I believe, only captures a small part.
I know,
of the
but it
table.
bounced off the green pad and
Wait, is that
onto.
your actual dice that you're? That you
Yeah.
see
He
on
has a
camera?
camera that looks down at a
What?
green screen.
Look.
Yeah, he has a camera that looks down at a green screen, and he faded it so that you can only see the
Wow.
dice.
Here's my little fingers.
Wild,
He's been
dude.
working on it for a while.
Cool.
Yeah.
It took forever.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's rad.
Yeah. That
That's
was
so
good job,
cool.
Cam. Looks
I
really
thought it
cool.
was like a computer thing you're doing. That's so cool.
Oh, your camera got moved.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh.
A little bit. Not much.
There you go.
There you go.
Cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna roll a athletics check for Blub Glub now, but I'm gonna give him advantage because you got a natural 20. As you're just like, no, come on, noodle arms. That was good that he has advantage because that was a 4. And that's a 19 plus nothing because he has no strength modifiers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you fully have just like get him under your arms, like headlock him and just like football him through this Kuatoa. Because you're tall. You're like what, like 7 foot tall or some shit? So you're taller than most of the people in this crowd. So you fully football hold this Kuatoa Blub Glub and just like linebacker push your way through this crowd. You eventually make it back to as you kind of like co-tangent kind of like, or whatever you want to fucking call it. You got tangent to their trajectory, meet up at one point, headed to the wharf. You guys meet back up. Tamron, you see a Scoop holding Blub Glub as a football, and he's like,
Hey, you found Blub Glub. Cool.
I did. Let's go. I'm so sorry.
okay,
I'll
cool.
include Blub Glub in the Pets Without a Trace too.
Oh, okay, you'll give him you'll be like, all right, and you snap your fingers and you let him be stealthy too. Great. Cool. Okay.
Did you apologize to me?
Yeah, I did. There's an extreme reason.
Okay, cool. Great. So, passive perception of 18 or higher. Anybody? Other than a Scoop. Okay. Actually, we'll see. I'm sorry, 15 or higher, because I had to make that roll.
Still me.
Nobody but a Scoop. Okay, a Scoop. You, after like seeing all that jazz happen, you see what looks like armor-clad individuals of like Kuatoa and sea elves and like sea spawn start to like rally and try to like direct the crowd and start to like respond to the loud noises and whatever the hubbub and all the hullabaloo. And they look intense. Like they look like they're no nonsense. What it looks like they're like different like platoons, all led by what looks like a very well armored and bident carrying, so it's like a trident, but it's only 2 prongs. Sea elf that has what looks like 2 Kuatoa individuals behind them, and then a whole contingent of sea spawn that are like foot soldiers. And there's about like 4 platoons of these people trying to like direct the crowd and like pierce through it and find out what was happening. And they're acting as like the Inquisition and like, starting to pull people out of the crowd that look suspicious and try to direct them to safety and stuff like this. This is going to be difficult for you guys to. Is your intention to evade them, trick them? Like, what's going on? Because these people are searching for shit. They're searching for what's going on.
Thaumaturgy. The traitor's over here. To a certain distance.
Oh, you want to throw your voice to a different locale?
Mm-hmm.
Like off of. Okay, cool. Here's what I'm going to say. Because you do use thaumaturgy, I'm going to say. You already have advantage, so I'm going to say deception check with advantage. To try to just to make it to see if like, because it is, you're trying to trick them. You're trying to trick them into like, going somewhere else.
Natural 20.
A 1 and a natural 20.
No, that's actually a 15.
Oh, it's a 15?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a weird angle.
Jesus. Okay, natural 20. So what's the total? It's at 19 then?
No, I don't think
You have a minus
so.
1 to charisma?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
19.
19. Okay, let's I'm just going to roll some insight checks for these people. You got to be kidding me. Okay, I rolled 4 10s and a 7. The wild. So
Start the wild.
you see 3 of those like platoons break off and start to head in that direction where they go like this way, and they start to head in the direction that you threw your voice. So you have successfully thrown off 3 of these contingents, but there's still 2 of them that are directing like traffic between you and the wharf, and you guys are rapidly approaching where they're going to be. These people are guardsmen. Their job is to take care of interlopers and make sure, like, you know, people that are breaking the law aren't things like, you imagine these people are pretty good at seeing through disguises. So your meager disguises that may have fooled the layman probably won't work on these people. They have a little bit, but who knows? You could take your chances. What are you guys doing? Because they're like the crowd is pushing you further and further, and where they are stationed, moving people about, is getting closer and closer really fast.
Definitely try to just lean into the sick seal thing a little bit more and act more like, oh no, I can't do it.
Oh,
Out of the way. She needs help. Out of the way.
Okay.
We're trying to get her to the hospital.
Injured person, like, I have a child, very Titanic style, and like Thor putting like, they won't see me if I do this, and like over your face type deal. Cool, yeah. So that's I'll say, Tamara, why don't you go ahead and roll a deception check? All the rest of you roll stealth checks with that pass without a trace. You get advantage on your deception check because of
How
Eagle
long does this
Splendor.
last for?
An hour.
An hour.
Yeah. Both of those things last an hour.
Yeah.
Eagle split. What a name.
You guys used your last 2 spell slots in the most efficacious way you possibly could.
16.
16 for deception. Okay. And let's see here. Okay. Machine, what'd you get on your stealth?
25.
25.
Wow.
A scoop.
Oh, I'm rolling? Okay.
Wait, was that deception or stealth?
For
Stealth.
you, it was deception, Tamron,
Oh,
because
okay.
you were like, oh, out of my way, I'm trying to take care of this sick person. You're not trying to be stealthy. You're trying to be, what's the word? Altruistic.
Deceiving.
I got 2 8s, so that's a 7.
7 for stealth?
No, plus 10, dude.
Oh, 17 then.
17. Okay. Nakano.
26.
26,
Nice.
17, and what was it? 20 something for
25.
25. Okay. Nakano. So you've got the whole sick seal thing down pat. A scoop, you're footballing. Blub Glub, making him look like a child that you're trying to save. Like, out of my way, I have a child. And Nakano's just, you're like shielding them with your spidery limbs, trying to protect them from like being run over by the rest of the crowd. So you look like a hurdled bunch of people that are trying to save them. And you get the impression that the one of the guard platoons that you pass, because like they're not like both right at the same point. There's like one, and then there's one further down. So you do pass like the first one as like, oh, okay, good. Those are good citizens, and they're taking care of people. They're acting good in a crisis, as you were, and they let you pass, and no big deal. Great, cool. You are now approaching quickly, and now approaching the last contingent of people. What are you going to do for this one?
Can we just do the same thing?
Just do it again.
You can
What?
try. You can certainly try. Go ahead.
Don't fix what ain't broke.
Yeah.
Let's see if we got any.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm so rolling deception.
Okay. What'd you get on your deception there?
22.
Woo!
Right.
Nice. All right, and then stealth checks all around. Let's start with Machete.
31.
31.
31?
Yeah. Holy shit.
They're
You
like,
just
what sick child? What are you talking about?
Right, they're already better. They're gone.
I think it might just go against you because it'd be like, what are you talking about? A scoop. What'd you get?
25.
25. Nice. And Nakano?
34.
34. My God. Okay, so you guys just completely fade into totally full Assassin's Creed, completely fade into the group. No, they don't even notice you. They don't even make eye contact with you. You say that and they're like, okay, whatever. I've got more important things to deal with. A scoop. You notice as you're doing this, as you're passing them, like out of the corner of your eye, like as you know, like when it's slow motions when you pass somebody and they kind of notice you. See one of the sea elves just
Very
kind of
anime.
clock you. Yeah, very anime style. Just kind of clock you for a moment, but like don't give you a second thought. But as you're but as you're passing them, you notice like up, descending from the sky, what looks like an individual, also clad in armor, like no wings, no nothing, but still in the humid, like thick, moist air. What looks like it's kind of like almost an Ursula type individual with a helmet, female with clad in like armor across her chest, but from the waist down, like octopus like
Octopodal.
octopodal, like tentacles that are like writhing and like moving the air as they kind of descend down, holding like a full trident with hair like flowing back, looking like what looks like a full on bossy ass like officer, that is probably quite a bit more perceptive than the rest of these people. Looks like some sort of amalgamate, like if a sea elf instead had the lower body of a massive octopus, very Ursula style, but just like very fit and like ready to go, and like with this cool like Atlantic style like Atlantis style helm and trident among them as they just kind of come down and descend upon that area. A scoop, you're the only one that notices this happen as they're kind of somehow floating above the area, just watching and keeping a keen eye, and they're gonna see if they spot any of you guys. So they have to beat, who got the lowest stealth? What was it, a 17?
No, I think it was
No, that was
25,
more
right?
25?
25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody rolled below 20 that round.
Okay. They get a +5 to this roll. They have advantage. They just got a 15. That's a 20. They have to roll a natural 20 to spot you. That's a 3. They don't spot you. This person looks like they mean fucking business. They look. What's interesting is that actually, Tamron, now that like they're starting to get lower and a scoop points them out, you like see a lot of features of this individual very akin to the Sunken Queen themselves, in the portrait, in the painting that you had seen in the back in the Salt Marshal's room in quarters. This doesn't look like the Sunken Queen herself, but could possibly like be one of her like right hand people, like one of her official like officers or her like inner circle. First, it means fucking business. They actually, once they get down low enough and float down through the air to one of the contingents, they fully grab the officer of the contingent with one of their tentacles and be like, "Status report immediately!" And then they like squeeze them and you hear like the crunch of metal, and they're like, "We're trying to sort out the throngs. We haven't found a cause of," and they just go, "Idiot!" And they just squeeze the metal until you hear the crunch of bone and sinew, and just as like blood splatters onto the floor, and they just toss them through the air and just what looks like through the permeable membrane of the dome into the water beyond. This and this person starts to like push their tentacles and push people out of the way as people just like give them a wide berth as they start to I don't know if you guys remember Ursula in that one mermaid scene as she's like moving across land or over the ship and she's like and it's just crazy and super scary, like fast moving spider. Oh, it's super creepy. As they just are. What's up?
How far is the person that just floated away?
I'm gonna say at this moment they just fucking missed you. They're moving quickly away from you, but I'd say
I'm talking about the dead person now that floated away.
The dead person that floated away. I'd say like 20 feet. This is like the officer of the contingent, like the leader of that contingent.
As I get further, I say like 50 feet. I'll cast a healing word on him.
Oh, I'm sorry. It happened 20 feet away from you. They were flung fully out of the city, Superman style. Like they were flung like into the air and then past the permeable membrane, like the Gungan City membrane of the that goes from air to water. Like they threw them in the air and they passed. Though they're in the water, floating like a dead crushed carcass. And also they were fully dead. They were not like bleeding and unconscious.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Holy shit!
They just crushed them in one move and like crushed their rib cage and almost snapped their spine and just like.
Let's make like an artichoke and dip.
Yeah. Okay. You guys are continually moving. You guys are headed to the Shoals Wharf and try to get out of here. A bunch of people had the same idea, kind of wanting to leave go into the water out of the city, just because if the city is, I mean, panic mob mentality, right? If the city's collapsing, the last place you want to be is the city. And
the city collapsing?
Well, there's a whole city block fully collapsed. But I mean, panic mob mentality. They don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, it's common knowledge that the city is on pillars, being like, supported like that. So if a part collapses, people fear the worst. And also, the safest place to be is probably in the water, where three-dimensional movement is allowed, not in the air for people that can't fly. Because these are all fish people, right? They move faster in the water, so they want to get to a place where they can get away if they need to. So a lot of people are leaving. She's going to say, you guys are quickly approaching that. You've passed most of the guard troops. You're going to have to do one last thing. As there are people now, because the alarms have gone off, and there are guards at the border of the city that are just checking to see if they see anybody suspicious. I'm gonna have you roll one last stealth check all the way around to see if you guys can make it past the membrane from the wharf and get into the water. By the way, you guys are headed into water. So
the flowers still.
Plant.
Yeah, you got your plant. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, we still have plant buddy. Yep.
Okay. All right. What'd you get, Macheni?
It was a natural 1 for a 19.
That's insane.
Oh God.
Okay. A scoop. What'd you get?
I got 21.
Nakano.
20.
20.
Combined.
Tamron.
16.
16. Okay. So you guys, here's what happens. You guys do blend in the crowd and you get past the membrane into the water. You guys all take a deep breath into the water. About 40, 50, 60 feet after the water, you are intercepted, not like on purpose, not like they're like, halt, stay there, but like your path intercepts by one of the patrols that was doing the whole area of like the caldera, the crater that you had slipped by in order to get into the city. So it's kind of impossible for them not to notice you as you're moving by. They're just gonna roll a quick insight check on you to see if they see if you're suspicious at all.
Throw my voice again. Help! Help!
Are you gonna try to distract them with okay?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, cool. Roll a deception check for me at advantage because you have charisma, the Eagle Splendor.
Fuck. No, it didn't work.
At advantage?
4. Yeah.
4 total?
Mm-hmm.
So you just say help. Very loud. And they're like, oh, what can we help you with?
Yeah, it's a distraction.
Like
I
right
still
to you.
look like a stick seal. If you,
you do. They didn't roll great on their insight, so they got 12 and everything. They're like, so they come up, they go like, What? But your group now is fully face to face with this patrol. Scoop, you say help. You let out. Oh wait, can you breathe underwater?
Yeah, I got 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
I mean, I can't. I got 4 minutes to
Oh,
my
okay.
breath.
So yeah, you lose a minute by saying help.
Do
we
you
have
still
our
have the
plan,
potion
too,
of water
right?
breathing though, Scoop, on you? Because it's 8 hours.
Oh,
I think
right.
I already used that.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
shit,
it lasts
you're
for
right.
8 hours. Yeah, so you can just say help. Yeah, so technically you're the only one that can really talk right now without it making it look like you're losing a bunch of air.
Which would be kind of suspicious, right?
Yeah, pretty suspicious, especially since you're like, so a Scoop says help. The patrol approaches, and they're like, it looks like a sea elf with a couple sea spawn behind them, and they're like, what can we help you with?
Do you not know what's going on behind us?
Yes, I
Help!
understand, but what's your particular problem?
Oh, I'm just curious about what's back there. No, it's
Oh,
fine.
then why did you say help?
Well, I just saw you. It's what you guys do, right?
I mean,
You gotta help other people that need help.
you're wasting precious time. Get to the triage and... Oh my god, that seal looks so sick.
She does.
Oh my god, that crab. Oh.
Just help! You're wasting
Okay,
time.
I'll take the seal to triage, and they go to like grab the seal to help you out. What are you guys doing? Because he's like fully going in to like grab the seal.
I
to
can't
help.
say anything.
I shake my head. I'm like, and I try to clutch onto a
She
Scoop.
doesn't.
Like,
She's not asking for consent.
She's
Wait,
not
what?
asking for consent.
You gotta ask for consent.
I'll take
I
I'll
like-
take this seal to the triage unit, straight away, and they go in to like grab you. Tamron, you have the seal in your clutches. You have Machete curled up in your clutches, right?
yeah,
Yes.
right. Because I was.
Yeah,
I
because
was
you
a
were like,
sick
I have to
baby.
get the sick baby too.
I like push her away and then take one of your empty vials. Like,
You gotta put the mic. I can't hear you.
sorry, I'm gonna push them away and then like take one of your empty vials, Michelle, and make it look like I'm giving you medicine.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Okay, cool. So real quick, just do a basic athletics check to be like, no, because this is a soldier.
I mean, I'm not like, I'm just like, hey, whoa, hey.
Sure. It's just that this was happening very quickly.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean,
Hey,
it's not like
can I
super
gra-
hard. What's up?
Can I help him by trying to grab onto Tammy harder? So like,
Absolutely.
It's
I'll
harder
give
for
you.
them to-
I'll give Tamron. I'll give you advantage on that because she's
that's-
helping you.
Oh, natural 20.
Natural 20. That's great because they rolled a 19.
Yeah.
Oh.
Damn, you got
Oh.
lucky.
So what's the total on that? What is it like? 22.
22.
22. Yeah. So you're like, no, I shall save the baby, and you'd be like, I have this medicine, and you take a vial. What vial is it, Machete?
Just an empty one.
An empty
It's an
one.
empty.
An empty one. So you open the vial, and air comes out. And
Oh, take the air and
I
I don't know.
Oh
man.
no! Okay, this works. You know what? Go ahead and roll a sleight of hand. Let's see if you can give her some extra air from the vial. Like I'd say, like 10 extra seconds, maybe. I don't know. As you suck air from the vial.
5.
So you fully pop it, and then you're like the bubbles go out, and you're like, no, wait, and you try to. It's this new aromatic type of therapy. It's fine. It's
Herbal
holistic.
remedy.
Herbal. Don't worry about it. We don't do pharmaceuticals here. Just I'm gonna say go ahead and roll a deception check at advantage because of Eagle's Splendor. I like
What is
almost
that?
wanted to give you disadvantage, but it's too good.
Oh, it's bad roll anyway.
Even at advantage
Yeah, roll a 4 and 7.
for
So 10.
a 10. Okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
roll some insight for this here. Let's see what's going on. If they like are like that wasn't medicine, and they only got a 7. They're
Oh
like,
my God.
far be it from me to know what all this new holistic stuff. Anyway, I have to save lives, and they go like with me, and the sea spider like, "Bleh," and they just swim away. You guys make it past the patrol, like all the hearts. You guys are going boom, 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 boom. Your oxygen consumption in your body is like getting faster because of all the adrenaline that's moving. are you guys just fully
Pass
booking
the
it towards?
plant around.
Cool.
Just
Yeah,
real quick.
You pass
as
the
we
plane
go.
around. Good. You guys look like you're like doing inhalers. You're passing like an inhaler around, and the air is like, it's a little rank because it's made from poop, but it's it's like, oh, okay, it's good. And as the
This is
plant,
worse than Blood Club.
a scoop understands. All right, no, Macheni understands
Or
that.
Penny.
Macheni understands that.
Macheni did.
Yeah.
Noelle does not.
Yeah.
Can you say what? what is-
No, absolutely not.
else
I will not
does.
repeat that. So you guys start to move. I assume you guys are booking it to the Crab Rave Cave.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So here's the deal. Yes, please.
Take one last look over the shoulder to see what's going on with the city, if it's continuing to implode or if it's just still localized to that one center.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
15.
15. From what you could tell, it doesn't look like any of the structural pillars that hold up the city are compromised. It does look like there is a large cloud of silt that does to be spreading in quite a big area of the thing. You can't really tell what that means. I mean, it could be that one like block collapsed, and it's just because there's just so much silt and the air is very moist, and it's like, very like that. I know you'd hate the word moist, apparently. That it's just spreading a whole lot, so it's really hard to tell how much, but you are able to tell that the majority of the city does look intact and still like working.
Okay.
And like you didn't like collapse a whole city and kill a bunch of people.
Good. Good.
I feel like I'd rather not know. I don't want to know that we like destroy this.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna have you guys do then. Essentially, because you have the plant, you don't really have to roll any Constitution saving throws for breathing, as long as you're surreptitious enough to breathe from the plant, which could just be any number of reasons. I'm not gonna make you roll for it. There's no real reason to it. With all these stealth checks that you guys have done, you guys have successfully evaded like patrols and guards and stuff like that. You guys make it to the glowing mushroom forest. Now, here's the deal. Since you guys have left, and Blub has left his post, there is a new set of guards at the Crab Rave Cave. And it looks like there's a couple of them. It looks like another like full contingent is here. And what it also looks like, there are crab people here as well. It looks like a sea elf and two like full-on crab. These are like to give you an idea of what these guys look like. They look like paladin crabs. They're called like spear and lance, or lance and shield crabs. I think there's actually I think they're based off of like a real crab in our real world that vaguely looks like that. But one of their claws, like it looks like a lance, and one of their claws is so big that it acts kind of like a shield. So they look like paladin, like shield and lance crabs, and they're big fuckers. These are large creatures, and they're like they could do some serious damage. And there's a sea elf here as well. At the moment, you guys are hiding amongst the glowing mushrooms, and have not been spotted. But these people are fully like, swimming and floating. And it looks like the sea elf is like, directly interposed between like your location and the entrance to the Crab Rave Cave, where two of the lance crabs are atop on the plumes, like the tops of one of the two mushrooms of the mushroom forest, kind of like as two vantage points, kind of flanking the sea elf, and the entrance to the Crab Rave Cave to see if anybody is headed there. So, one last obstacle for you guys. How do you guys want to go about it?
Am I able to communicate with Blub? No.
Yeah.
Yes, but you will have to speak underwater and release air.
Okay.
And
So
there will be bubbles,
plan.
and bubbles will protrude from your mouth and then float up into the air. And these people are looking for stuff.
But that just happens all the time. There's just always. bubble plants
You
all over
could
the place.
certainly try. It's plausible. Yeah.
I mean, isn't there the plants bubbling up all over the place?
They're not all over the place, but they are in this area. Yeah.
Can we just try catching your bubbles in like one of our cloaks or something, basically, like creating like a little,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
over like a canopy over you, so
Yeah,
that
like
the
like
the
a
bubbles
parachute,
get
like a water
caught.
parachute for bubbles. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can do that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do that with my cloak, so you can talk to.
How far was?
Yeah, eventually
Are
the bubble that you breathe out will pass through the cloak, but in much smaller, like atomized bubbles that will be barely noticeable. Yeah, if you'd like to like create a bubble catch, yeah.
Blub Glub, go tell them that there's been an emergency. And
Okay,
it's all
you gotta
hands
stop.
on deck. The captain.
That's
sent
all
me.
your air, and then you have to breathe
Okay.
again.
No,
But
no.
yeah. But
The
yeah.
captain sent me.
Oh,
Whatever
oh,
his
oh! You're
commanding
trying.
officer is.
Oh,
Trying to get him to go and get them to leave. by
okay.
saying that commanding officer.
And he's like,
Or if at least they'll be distracted by him for long enough for us to sneak.
okay. I mean, I might get arrested because I abandoned my post.
They don't know that.
I'm pretty sure that's why they're here.
I'm sure it's fine.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check. Yeah, see if you could just be like, knock two birds out with one stone, get rid of Blub Glub.
Oh, I have
and...
advantage too.
Yeah, you do.
Dirty 20.
Hell yeah.
Sure. I mean, sounds like a good idea. I'm pretty persuasive. Maybe I can convince them to let me go.
You're horrible, Timon. He's gonna get killed.
Yeah, maybe.
yeah, maybe.
He became like such an evil, chaotic character. He's like, "Fuck it."
That's not evil.
That's not evil.
He abandoned his post. This is on him, man.
But you just like, oh
So-
yeah, you're gonna get.
So like lawful, like very very lawful dude to be like, if the law is the law, if that means you die, you die.
Right.
Do this the easy way. Or we can way.
Cool. So Blubgub starts to swim away towards these people. You eventually like see the lance crabs like spot them and start to point them out, and the sea elf like swims forward and they meet at one point, and you see what sounds like does anybody read lips?
Me.
Oh, okay. So and you speak Coatoan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you catch one side of the conversation as the other one is speaking which looks like, I guess, some form of Elvish. Did you speak Elvish as well?
Yes.
So you get the whole conversation.
Amazing.
Okay, cool. So I'm not going to do accents because you can't hear the accents. You can only see the lips. But the sea elf says, Guardsman Blubglub, where were you? Why have you abandoned your post? We're here to relieve you of duty and take and if we find you to court-martial you and take you back for judgment. Like, how dare you abandon your post? You are a
How did they know he abandoned his post?
because someone was supposed to relieve him at a certain point and he
I
wasn't
see.
there. Because that's how guard patrols work. Like, how dare you besmirch the name of the sunken queen and do her such a disservice? And he's like, listen, I thought it over, and I thought that maybe the sunken queen is not for me.
Oh.
But I respect it, and I'll take whatever punishment you need. But first, let me go get some stuff that I left in the crab cave because I put a couple traps in there, and I don't want you guys to get caught by them.
Okay.
And so we're gonna roll some charisma checks here to see if he can.
Okay, Blub Glub.
He got a 19
Yeah.
on his
My
fucking
dude.
deception check.
That's
My
lucky.
dude.
We're gonna roll an insight check on this sea elf here.
Should we start like?
I
paddling
shit you
ever
not,
so
guys. If
quickly?
you can see that, that's an 18.
Oh,
No modifiers for insight for this person. So because they're just a guardsman, no like wisdom or modifiers or anything. Beat it by 1. You see the sea elf says, "Very well. Dismantle your traps and return to henceforth. We will meet you on the far west end of the mushroom forest, so that we can still help refugees or fleeing peoples. And then like this will reflect better on you. You see them like." Thank you for being cooperative. This will reflect better on your trial. And they split. They move off to try to help some of the other people as Blub Glub like turns around and goes like and just swims into the crab rave cave and assuming going through the portal. And the way is clear.
I motion just let's go and just still slowly and stealthily kind of.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I would say
Dog paddle.
just for my sake, just to see, because it is full open water. Just roll one last stealth check for everybody, guys. This is not hard. This is just to see if anybody rolls absolutely terribly badly. Go ahead, Machete. What'd you get?
27.
27. A scoop. What'd you get?
26.
26. Nakano.
15.
15.
Plus a 10.
Plus 10.
Oh.
Plus 10.
Plus your
I
stealth.
didn't do that.
So 25.
Sorry.
That's okay.
It's the spirit's very strong.
Go ahead, Tamron.
19.
19. Guys, slipping through the open water and into the darkness of the crab wave cave, you are immediately hit by that rush of veil of waterfall of water, and you find yourself flopping onto the like foot, if not like 2 feet of water at the bottom of the cenote, passed back into the material plane. And you guys are no longer
Is it dark?
in the... It is dark. It is night here. And you see Blub Glub there flopping in the water, and then stopping,
Chill out,
breathing
come
the
on.
water and standing up and being like, "Holy crap, that was intense." And then he's like,
Nice job
wait,
there,
I
Blub.
don't have to shake my lips when I'm in it. Oh,
Okay.
Wait, were you choosing to do that?
it was,
Well,
it
it's
was a
just
force of
water.
habit. I'm so sorry. We're all taught it. It's a mannerism we're taught growing up, It's just I can't hear you.
Prevent DJ from getting a concussion.
Yeah.
It's definitely a narrative choice I've made. You guys are back in the material plane. It is dark. You get the idea. I would say. I was gonna say. Well, Machete, you're the ranger. I would say with your you get the sense, if you cast Druidcraft or something like that, you would get the sense that it's like 1, 2 in the morning. It is way past bedtime. It is.
Yeah. Until they say some of those are whatnot.
Yeah. It is. You guys are exhausted. Like you guys haven't swam this much in a long time. You guys, the air out here is much drier. Then it doesn't feel as heavy and sticky and humid as what you were. You guys are back in the material plane. The portal, however, is still open behind you guys.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
But you guys are here in the cenote, up to your knees. Well, some of you, depending on how tall you are, in like seawater.
I mean, I
Like the
don't have a
portal?
way to close it. We don't have any more dust. I don't,
Um,
anyway.
I mean, just break it.
I assume, Scoop, you light something up so people can see, because it's like fully dark here.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, I mean, we could. If we want
Or
to.
just. Do we even have time? We wait past the time for Captain Avery to spot us.
Well, that's happening tomorrow.
No.
They're coming to pick you
Well,
up. Because
No,
it wasn't
that was-
today. This is the same day you left the ship. They said they were coming back.
Yeah.
We were. Was it? I thought it was.
Today is still the 31st. It is just, well, technically it's now the 32nd, but it's like 1 a.m. It's the very beginning of the 32nd. This was the same day you guys left. I don't think you spent any. I'll double check. Let me see.
I thought it was. We were supposed to come back at dawn or give him sending saying, "Hey,
it's not dawn yet.
we're still alive."
Here, let me see. On the open seas.
I can't do that because I used all my magic.
Oh, right.
Or
Okay. On the evening
almost.
of the 30th of Hylock, through a shout of light fog, a mist of unending cascade of rain, a large island of the Bagaket archipelago comes into view. Da 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 da. The party's minds are. Misheni receives a ping of the party's minds are restless and anxious, full of possibilities of unknown danger as they drift off to an uneasy slumber. And awakening the next morning of the 31st, Avery confides in the group, stating that he hasn't felt this feeling since he lost his crew and his limbs. He warns that not everything is what it seems. A tepid saltwater rain constantly falls. Blah 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 blah. Avery and the party prepare to part ways. Yeah, you left the ship on the 31st. You left the ship like yesterday.
Okay.
So it is technically, because it's past midnight, the 32nd, but you guys are supposed to you guys had agreed to meet back here. I believe was it at dawn or was it at like noon on the 32nd?
I think it was like noon.
Okay. So they're going to be here in like 11 hours. They're going to be back here in 11 hours.
How's your how's your vial with the tentacle looking?
I pull it out
Or hair or whatever it is.
from
Agatilla?
from Agatilla. Is it a lock of hair or is it a tentacle at the moment?
At the moment, here in the material plane, this close to the portal, next to a city of which 2 eldritch idols were destroyed, is a lock of hair.
Hey!
Hey! It's hair, guys! It's hair!
Yeah.
Tamara dabs.
Oh no!
I'm
You
sorry.
you fully canonically
It's never gonna
invent
happen
the
again.
dab in that moment.
It's because
God.
you're in a school that of children that constantly do that.
Nobody dabs.
Oh.
What's up, teacher?
This is great.
Should we destroy the macaroni?
I'm sorry, I'm having a little
Yeah.
trouble hearing you.
Oh, my
Jump.
bad. Should we destroy the macaroni?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have any more dust to close it off, right? You don't either, right, Tammy?
Do we have the 2 pickaxes?
No.
Maybe we can just physically destroy it.
Yeah.
That
I
so
have my
that's.
magic pickaxe. I haven't used it yet.
Oh, you do have your magic
Ooh.
pickaxe. So, as I had mentioned before, this is kind of like a hodgepodge, a portal that apparently, like, it looks like pieces of different well walls have been like fused together in order to create a MacGyver style well wall. You have noticed that it was from the material that the well wall was made out of is not the same material that the Eldritch Idols were made out of, and the material that the well wall is still extremely sturdy. But this one, again, like I said, was made out of a bunch of different pieces. So if your intent is to try to like deconstruct it in a way in order to no longer make it functional, you can indeed try to do that. Is that what you want to do? Because it is still like kind of like a waterfall coming from its arch.
Yeah.
Like a veil of
I'm
water.
gonna bust it up.
Okay, you guys are fucking exhausted. Are you doing that right now? I'm saying, like, I'm going to say right now, as you come through the veil, all of you get a point of exhaustion. Like, because you guys have been swimming, moving, you're fully spent. You've been on adrenaline for the past who knows how long, and this whole fleeing swum so fast. You guys aren't creatures that have swim speed, so you've swam like a mile or two. It's you do. It's just but you guys are exhausted, and you're past the point where you should have been asleep. You've been awake for more than 24 hours. So you guys do get a point of exhaustion, but once you go to sleep tonight, you're gonna get rid of it. So it will only affect you for the rest of the stuff you do tonight.
Okay.
What is the exhaustion again? Is it just good?
You can they're stacking points, and once you reach 6
Well,
of
yeah.
them, you die. But the
No,
first,
I know, but what is one?
sure, the first,
Disadvantage.
yeah, the first has a disadvantage on ability checks,
Okay.
on all ability checks. So technically, since Eagle's Splendor is still technically activated for, I'm going to say for the
It's
next
just neutral.
like 15 minutes, if that, maybe 10.
We're not gonna need it.
That would just be straight rolls for any charisma checks. But
Portal, can you please close? Thanks. Bye. Great.
you just try to persuade the portal to close.
I'm just being silly.
I just want to
Not-
break it so that you can't put it back together. Like use it.
Yeah.
Somebody else can't use it. I guess obviously somebody's been here using it, right?
Exactly. And I think no matter how sneaky we were, at some point they're gonna figure out that things are not what they seem, especially if Blub Grub does not come back. So Corn Marshall.
A scoop, as you're keenly aware, the bird poop spots and the spots that were pointed on your map, there are 2 other locations that could be possible, like that Carver even had mentioned, that have iconography like this, that have entrances to other watery depths. Meaning that if your objective is to eliminate this entrance, that is one less place for the material plane to be connected to that city, to the plane of water.
I'm worried now we don't have another creature. So if we
I'm sorry, you gotta.
one. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, what?
I'm just worried because we don't have another creature now. If we go to destroy another creature in another portal, we have to just do it straight. Like we won't be able to fight, like put them against each other like we did
I mean,
today.
we could just put it back in the book.
You got rid of both. You don't.
Oh yeah, because there's 2 more, right? We can put one of them in a book and bring it to the other place and have them fight.
Right.
Fuck fighting.
We're just
Well,
we're just setting up cage matches.
Carry them around.
Cage
Yeah.
matches.
Whoa.
Granted, that's a very good. That's a very good point. You don't know how many temples there are in this underwater city. There could be more idols. Do you think would it make sense for there to only be one place where they'd be making sea spawn if there's this many sea spawn? But granted, you have to also very weakened the power of it because you got rid of 2. And you also know the Argent Flame has one.
Did they say what they did with it, or
No.
No.
No. It was still the last time we talked. I don't think we did.
Okay.
So what are you guys doing?
Try to break it with my magical.
Might as well just try to break it.
Okay. Okay, Tamron, you grab your magical pickaxe. I sent you all the stats for that thing, right?
Yes, what I have here is that it can find earth stuff with 30 feet once per long rest. And it does 2 plus 2d6 to earth creatures, but it's not a creature. So it's just a regular pickaxe, right?
Yeah, but it is
Right?
magical, so I mean, it's it can't be like damaged.
Yeah.
So it is technically doing magical damage, not just mundane damage, which could help with this.
Okay.
Yes, a scoop.
No, I was just thinking. I recall what I was about to say.
Okay, cool. So here's how this is gonna go. This stone, this ore, this gate, this portal has what's called a damage threshold, meaning any damage that is less than its damage threshold doesn't do any damage to it at all. So you have to meet or beat its damage threshold, just like you have to meet or beat an AC. So first you have to roll to see if you hit in a spot that's like a weak joint. So you'll roll an attack with your pickaxe to see how much you roll. Granted, given enough time, you're gonna hit the thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep doing it until it. breaks.
Sure. I would say it could take hours, but yeah. Go ahead. What is
going through the city and doing, I guess, just like drinking the underwater city, drinking and going to the temple? Would that be considered a short rest?
I don't think so, because I don't think you guys. I don't think so, only because you guys weren't short resting. You guys were gathering intel.
And
you were
that's
actively
one
doing
hour,
shit.
right?
Yeah, that's a whole hour. I don't think
Okay.
there's a difference between drinking, camaraderie, relaxing, and not being aware of your surroundings. You guys were actively trying to stay
Okay, that makes
undercover, gather intel, blend
Well, Scoop was
in,
getting drunk.
a scoop.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Also, fully getting drunk doesn't count as a short rest either.
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
that does not reinvigorate you. I don't know about you guys, but getting drunk doesn't reinvigorate me. It makes me feel a type of way, but
Do you guys mind if I take a short rest? Just chill
Go.
while Tamron kind of whacks at this thing.
yeah,
Go for it.
you can yeah.
Go for it, or if like, I mean, I know.
I mean, I'll be right here. I just,
Yeah, no. Go for it. Everybody's tired, so if anybody wants to actually sleep too, maybe we can do shifts or something. I don't know.
Okay, cool. Nakano, what would you like to do?
I can assist.
You want to assist?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'll say you kind of like can get a better view of the portal, of its like backside and its top, because you can just climb all over it. You can get a better like angle as to, hey, look, this looks like a weak point in here, and you can
Okay.
give him advantage, which will just make it a straight roll for him rather than being a.
Wouldn't it be an attack roll?
Yeah, so I'm going to change it up a little bit, because if it's going to be an attack roll, it doesn't fucking make any sense, because you're just going to hit no matter, because you're going to take it so long. So we're going to leave this up to actually some Arcana checks that you're actually good at. But
I'm not good at Arcana.
You're sorcerer. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So you're right. It would be an attack roll, and you're going to get advantage on the attack roll because she's assisting you. Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay, cool. Yeah. But here's the deal. It doesn't matter. The attack roll doesn't really matter. I would say, why don't you do me a favor? Let's just say over the course of like the next hour while they're making a short rest, you hit this thing like 90 times. And we're going to just roll one
I guess
die.
it just depends on, is it possible for me to even do enough damage to bust?
Right. So here's what we're gonna say. Over the course of the next hour, you're gonna hit this thing 90 times, and you're gonna roll one dice for every 30 time that you try to strike this. So why don't you go ahead and roll 3 attacks at advantage? And what this mean will like it, and because I'm looking for the potential of a natural 20, because a natural 20 will make the damage for you to find a sweet pot, and that could double the damage, and that could like possibly pass the damage threshold and actually do some damage here. So that's really what I'm looking for. So if it's really anything other than a natural 20, it's just pretty average.
Is Hurt over here on this side? Because we told her to
no,
go
she's
back.
with us the entire time.
Okay.
Just
I
Tamron.
forgot.
I think she was asleep in somebody's
Yeah, I was
papoose the
about to
whole
say
time.
Yeah, we papoose.
Tamron had
Yeah, so Tamron had 2 children, which is why he was so convincing, because he had a very a sickly looking Kuatoa goblin child and a sickly looking seal. And he's like, my children.
Somebody help my baby.
Yeah, Hurt was so exhausted from the whole thing. She's been long resting this whole time, and she's still sleeping.
She
because
slept through the diarrhea storm?
That's when she woke up. I was like, fuck it.
Yes, because
Oh, yeah.
TJ forgot she was there, so yes, she did.
And then
What's
I'll
the
just
number?
just be-
So go ahead and roll your first attack at advantage.
Well,
D4.
24. Okay. Do it again.
20.
Okay.
Nice.
And one more time.
Oh, I'm sorry, 22 actually. And another 22.
Okay, cool. So here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say roll all of the damage die for all those, because all of those hit. Roll all those damage die together. And then, so do all your totals, do all your math, add them all together, and just give me the average. Okay? Yes, it's math time.
while he's doing this, I'm just keeping watch
Oh,
out
you're not-
over the camp
What did you?
while I'll scoop
Okay.
crusts and-
Add.
Nibble on some soggy bread. I don't know.
It's not quite as good as beer bread, but or the
So the bread?
soda bread. Yeah, I can have some of that tomorrow.
5 damage.
5 damage total. or 5 damage averaged.
Wait, hold on.
Don't forget to
Oh no, sorry.
so you roll. I can't hear you. You got to put the microphone closer.
Sorry. So I rolled 21, so 7 damage.
7 damage. Okay, 7 damage. So the damage threshold for this thing is 10. So you pick away at this thing for. Well, I guess that's a plane. So you pick away at this thing for an hour, and Nakano's trying to show you like where to pick like the grout in between like the keystones and stuff like that. And you're chipping off some things, but you're not damaging like the actual store, like the stone ore here. And this is like proving to be a lot more difficult than originally thought. It does look like your stuff is coming off, but this could take days at this rate.
Really?
Yeah, at least at the rate that you're doing it. Like it's working, but you're just not getting lucky, you know. And you're not like finding the exact right spot. You tried a couple different spots. You keep picking. And the fact that you do have a magical pick set, it definitely is helping. Like stuff is coming off. You are damaging it, but yeah, it's not inefficient. And you're not sure if you can try to continue doing this through the night. But you're pretty exhausted.
Do you want to swap out places? Maybe I can try to hit it and I don't know, try to sense like weak points in the vortices that are the planes through which this is passing.
Why don't I take first watch? You guys can switch.
Okay.
Okay.
So who's going at it? So everyone, are we all going to sleep, or are we trying to attack the thing?
Oh no, I'll just keep. It's not a skill.
I'm sorry, I can't. You gotta.
No, I was just speaking quietly. It doesn't make a difference because it's a skill roll, so it doesn't matter if I'm rested while I'm doing this or not. Right?
And when you're exhausted, you have disadvantage on ability checks.
Right.
Yeah, so they would be.
So I'll just keep going while you guys rest.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
at
I'll
some
help.
point, if you keep doing this through the night, you're gonna get another point of exhaustion.
Well, I'm just gonna do it for my first shift and then.
Oh, okay.
Right
Yeah,
off.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, absolutely. So everyone else is going to bed.
I mean, I'll help you pointing out if I can try to channel like where the energy is flowing or like.
Oh, right.
the-
You want to use your Horizon Walker stuff?
Yeah, but it's not. I don't have like technically by the book. Like I don't have.
I understand.
the
Yeah, we
ability
can
to do that,
flavor
but,
it,
like-
but yeah, you're
Yeah.
looking for like seams in the energy. Like
Yeah.
I understand.
I also have that it says once per long rest I can find earth stuff. Would a weak point in rock be earth stuff?
Would you like to use the ability and find
Might
out?
as well.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay, cool. So here's the deal. You say the command, or what does it say? You say the command word, or
I don't have the.
I don't remember what it is. I think it does have a command word.
Rock. Rock and roll. Rock and stone.
Rock and
brothers.
stone.
Poor Carl.
It was a video game that just said things like that, and we didn't really understand why.
We can play the entire video game just shouting
Just
that
go like-
shit.
So-
they would just go for Carl.
I
and they
really
never,
hope
like,
they-
explained who Carl was.
I really hope Deep Rock Galactic doesn't get mad at me because I did like steal that part and did put it into the Argent Flame campaign, and it's now like a
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, for Clan Vogel in Steercrag, it's like their mantra: "Rock and stone, my brothers." And I even got like the whole table to start chanting it, and it was kind of fun.
All
We
right.
have who's Carl or where's Carl? What, right? That was
For
person on the-
Carl is what.
For
yeah,
Carl.
Yeah. And
No. The person at the beginning of the campaign before we lost the boat. They're like, where's Carl? And
Oh,
we didn't
yeah.
realize till like
Yeah.
5 sessions later.
One of the other what are they called?
Crew member.
Yeah, he was a core individual that you never found their body at sea when the ship got destroyed by the tidal wave and stuff like that. And you don't know where they are. You have no idea. And you were like, "What happened to Carl?" And we're like, "We don't know. They lost at sea."
Too small.
So it says that once per short rest, I may whisper the name of a material that can be derived from the earth. So I can't just be like
Weak spot.
weak spot.
Well,
I'm gonna try.
Well, yeah, try something. Let's see what you come up with.
If I do it and I fail, like it's not it doesn't.
You gotta
that
put
spell?
the thing. So I can hear you. So
Am I gonna just? I'm gonna just turn it up. Am I gonna waste that spell if I do that?
that's better. Yeah. You mean are you gonna like waste its ability?
Yeah. If it doesn't proc, is it gonna just waste it?
There's really only one way to find out.
Just for today.
Because I could say like sandstone or something. I'll just say weakness.
What about coral?
Weakness.
Yeah, coral maybe. But it's all rock though. Is there any coral in there?
It looks like it was.
Also, I don't think that's a mineral.
It's not, but I mean the leftover is actually
Macaroni door.
Yeah, the skeleton. It's like calcium
Yeah.
and stuff.
Does that
yeah.
count? I guess there's only
one way to find out. And so here's the deal too. I mean, it does look like it has been bonded. Like the stones, the different parts of the well walls have been bonded together with some sort of adhesive agent, whether it be grout or cement or coral. You're not quite sure. So if you're looking to try to name that material, identify that material,
I guess I should just be able to with my eyes do that though, right?
As an archaeologist,
yeah. Seems like I would
probably,
be able to just do that.
yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's some sort of. Honestly, you don't recognize it. It looks like.
Oh.
Have you ever had any interaction with terrazine before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
A scary one.
Okay, this looks like some sort of like grout cement mixture with small particulates of like heterogeneous mixture or homogeneous mixture because there's a bunch of little pieces in it of like small pieces of tiny spent terrazine crystal within its like grout cement mixture, almost like it's acting as,
Terrazine was
like,
that scary shit that like almost consumed everything in the world.
It's a crystal that is a huge magical catalyst, but if it makes contact with
caused
any
apocalypse.
if it makes contact with any other physical matter, it starts to spread upon that almost endlessly and turn it into more terrazine or more crystal.
That's such a scary concept.
Yeah. But it is also used as a very strong magical catalyst.
If we had caused apocalypse, by the way, would that have also destroyed the Argent Flames campaign?
Well, there's a limit as to how far.
There is.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
it'll spread and eventually slow down until it can't spread anymore, and that all depends on how potent the terrazine is, how much terrazine there is. But I mean, it could. Like depending on the size of the piece, like could get rid of a whole city, could get rid of a whole region if it's a big enough chunk, So, so again, only one really way to know.
I'm just gonna.
So you do recognize like terrazine dust, spent. So what you're seeing is that spent terrazine that has been spread enough to the point where it like stops spreading and is like safer to work with and it can be touched. Where like most of the magical energy that causes it to spread and proliferate has been spent, but it can still be used as like catalyst as far as like connecting magical things. And
Is
stuff
there like
that.
magic that's keeping this thing
Thing
together?
Is,
Because I mean, otherwise it's just made out of rock. Right? I should be able to bust it
There's
up.
definitely some magic involved in this for sure.
A scoop. Can you dispel magic on it so that I can just knock it over?
That's the reason why I'm trying to take a rest.
Oh, then why don't we just wait and do it in the morning?
Okay.
Because we're not sure we can wait till the morning.
Oh yeah. Well, I guess I'll keep trying. If it fails, then
An
we'll do it in the
8-hour
morning.
open portal right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's not forget the patrol is still waiting for Blub to come back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do they even know about the portal? Do they know what they're protecting? But then that scary octopus woman might come through. All right. So, Scoop, why don't you go to sleep?
Okay, and you and Macheni are going to try to... So yeah, you and Macheni, with your archaeology and Macheni's planar thing, you recognize that this like grout cement that's like keeping the hodgepodge different pieces of the well walls together, does have spent terrazine crystals in it, and it's acting as a bonding agent, but also as like almost wiring, connecting the magical power between the stones. As it's like it's allowing because well walls are all made of that one material, right? But they're substituting it by like putting capacitors. Like this grout has like acting like capacitors and like wiring in between them to actually allow them to communicate with each other. So you guys spot this and you're like, shit, if we can get that out, we can break the circuit.
So
kind of scrape.
with your axe, can you say like, "Hey, come to me, all the terrazine"?
Well, it just tells me where it is. It doesn't actually like
Summon it.
collect anything.
You got what is it? Mold earth. Can you just throw like fucking sand over it or something?
It works on sand, dirt. It doesn't work on workstone.
I'm just saying we can throw sand over the portal until the meantime. So we
Oh, like bury it?
Oh,
Well, so there isn't really any. You'd have to go up out of the cenote and collect a bunch because it's.
that would take
rock.
longer. I feel like than actually just busting it up.
Okay, so are you guys trying to like scrape this grout out of between the stones?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to pick it.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Doing my archaeology, I'm like pro at scraping things off of things, and you know what I mean. Like this is my bread and butter.
Yeah.
I think of my all and my,
It's a little bit of a larger scale, but yeah, absolutely, sure. Sure. I'll say with
business.
with the Horizon Walker, and you recognizing it as terrazine, and with your magical pick, and this being your thing, why don't you do me a favor? I'm gonna have you roll something other than attacks now, because at first you were just kind of chipping away at it and just trying to do it, but now that you recognize it's going to that, this is.
Well, but now my exhaustion's gonna have a problem.
But so here's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
It will be a straight roll because Machete and your stuff is giving you advantage. So why don't you go ahead and do me a favor, and I'm gonna say roll an archaeology check, which I'm gonna say is a luck check with proficiency. So
is this portal a object?
Yes, it is now.
So just add my proficiency to a roll.
To add your proficiency to a roll and see what you get.
I'm going to
18.
cast Identify on the portal.
Okay. Okay. Actually, let's resolve that first, because Scoop, you cast Identify ritually.
Well, you should be asleep. So
You have a spell slot.
Oh, yeah. I have a lot of
then you
first.
can just cast.
It's not even a spell slot. It's just a feature.
Identify is a first level spell.
It's a feature for me.
Feature of what?
My
He's a furball, right?
No.
It's skill ability improvement or whatever it's called.
No, you don't. Skill doesn't give you. It doesn't give you a spell. It doesn't give you a spell that you can just cast.
Yeah.
If you know the Identify spell, where did you get the? Well, you're a cleric. Where did you get the Identify spell? Was it
Fey touched?
Fey touched. Okay, so
I
that
don't want to say, but okay.
Oh yeah, no. Okay, so it's fine. The feet.
Feet. Yeah, feature.
Your feet, not feature. They're two different things.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, let me double check. I'm not sure if it lets you cast it once per day, or if it accounts as one of the spells that you know.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, you can cast it ritually if you want, because it is a ritual spell. So you can just take 10 minutes to cast it without spending a spell slot.
It's not a ritual spell.
Identify is for sure a ritual spell.
Not for me. And it takes one long rest. It's not a spell. It's a feat, man.
Well, okay. Identify is for sure a spell. If the
not through the feet.
No, I understand. No, but it still counts as a spell. What you're talking about is whether it uses a spell slot. It is for sure a spell. It is never not a spell. It is always a spell.
I can use it as I can use one for a long rest, or if I want to use it again, I can use an expel.
Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about it's always a spell. It's just whether your feat allows you to cast the spell without expending a spell slot. It always counts as a spell because it is for sure a spell.
Okay.
But you learn. So yeah, you learn the Misty Step thing, but you don't have this yet
Fuck.
because you haven't slept yet.
Sorry.
Need to use the sleeps.
Yeah, once you cast either of you learn you learn the Misty Step and a first level spell of your choice. You can cast the spell once without expending a spell slot. But once you cast either of the spells this way, you can't cast that spell this way again until you finish a long
Sorry,
rest.
I just had my level 8.
No, so here's the deal. But this is a good point because that when you do get that spell, if identify as one of the spells that you choose, it does count as a ritual spell, and it is one of the spells that you always know and you always have prepared, meaning that you can still cast it ritually because you have the ritual caster ability as a cleric. So you can absolutely cast Identify ritually whenever you want, as long as you take 10 minutes to do the ritual without expending a spell slot. It says
It's weird.
No, because it says you know the spell. It says you learn a spell. You learn the Misty Step spell and one first level. So you learn it, meaning you always know it. You always have it prepared. That's how it works. I promise you that's how it works. Great.
Okay.
So it's like your cleric spells that you get from your domain. You always have those prepared. That's how it works. Great. So you can't do Identify, but you got an 18 on your luck check with proficiency or your archaeology check, right, Tamron?
What's that? Sorry.
It's okay. You got an 18 on your archaeology check?
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty darn good. Okay, so you start picking away at this thing. I'm gonna roll a Constitution saving throw for the gate to see if you can dislodge one of the keystones here. That's a 13. Total. It has a +6 to this Constitution saving throw. You jam your pick in there and start to pull out this terrazine encrusted like cement, this stone, which is now like, so it definitely has like terrazine bits in it, which means like this terrazine encrusted grout stone could definitely be used as like magical catalyst for other stuff as you're prying it out and you're prying it out and you're prying it out, and then you feel like it start to get loose, and as you like, kind of wiggling the stone back and forth, you see like the waterfall start to like stutter and stop and like flitter and flutter and not always be consistent as it's starting to like you and Macheni grab it, start heaving and hoeing, and eventually pull the keystone out of it, and the water stops and the runes fade.
And I will scoop up all the spent terrazine dust that is possible.
Okay, cool. Are you guys leaving the keystone, the macaroni here?
Absolutely not.
You want to take it with you?
I'm destroying as much as within the next hour or so until my shift is over. I just want
that took you an hour. It took you an hour to do that. Yeah, but
I have 2 hours for a shift, right? Is usually how it works.
Yeah. You want to try to get another stone free?
I just want to now that there's no magic on it anymore, right? It doesn't connect, so now it's just rocks.
It is, but the ore that the well wall stones. Remember, the grout is what you were attacking. The ore of the well wall stones you have not been able to damage no matter what you were doing.
Well, I thought it was magical. I thought it was holding it together magically. No?
The ore itself is innately magical. When there's magic running through it, the well wall activates.
Oh, I see.
Make sense?
Because I really wanted to just knock it over and just chain gang it into rubble, you know?
You can attempt to do that. Now that the keystone has been removed, the whole thing is rather fragile.
Yeah. I want to make it little pieces.
Okay, do another archaeology check.
Yeah, Tammin. Hit it there.
13.
I'd say you damage a little bit more of the grout, but it's hard to get
All right.
Some of the rest of it free. But you do have a loose well wall keystone from who knows what type of well wall here. Are you going to leave it here, or do you want to take it with you?
Nah, we'll take it.
Okay, it is heavy. It is it's about a stone about like this big. It's almost half as tall as you are, and twice as
Rubble?
wide. And it's big.
Is it technically rubble?
I mean, why are you asking?
So I can use mold earth to just carry it back to the
You
ship.
absolutely cannot use mold earth on this nigh indestructible ore. You absolutely cannot.
What if we take it to the top of the cenote and then you mold earth along? So like,
So it just pushes it. Whoa!
You want to create an earth sled?
an earth wave.
You could, but you got to get it up to the top of the cenote first, and this thing's heavy.
Earth wave. That sounds like a Michael Bay movie. Do I have? Is it still my shift?
No, you. It's time to go to bed now.
Okay.
Are you guys just gonna leave it here for now and figure it out in the morning?
For now, yeah.
Okay, cool.
yeah.
So,
How much dust did I get for the spent terrazine?
oh, like
What was
from like all the crowning out of the scratching
Yeah.
and scraping of the spent terrazine in like if you remember in the Argent Flame, remember how the mausoleum had like pieces of this stuff in it thing? Think about like the same type of material. It's like stone embedded with pieces of spent terrazine.
Yeah.
So I would say a nice big handful, like I would say probably a pound of this stuff.
Okay.
Um,
Pound of spent
so
terrazine mixture.
it can definitely be used in spellcrafting and stuff as catalysts.
Okay.
Because it is spent terrazine, it can definitely be used in some wonky spell work to do some stuff. I wouldn't say I would say it was a catalyst, not so much as enhancing spells, because that's for charged terrazine. That's a lot of like dwarven magitech uses stuff like that. But this is what you got. Okay, cool. So you guys do your respective watches here. You guys are in a decently secluded area. Your biggest threat has been cut off. The well wall's done. You're in a cenote. The rest of the wildlife isn't going to really come down here. So no real too much reason other than to do much watches. Blub Glub takes his turn to watch. The rest of you guys do some watches. Nothing really happens. You guys do your long rest. You sleep on some of the stones. You wake up on the morn. I'm going to say at around 10 a.m. Because you guys went to bed really late. You guys went to bed at like 3 a.m. So no, you guys wake up at 11. You guys wake up at 11, an hour before Avery is supposed to arrive on the late morning of the 32nd, and you guys are all level 8. And that's where we're going to take our little break.
Yeah.
We're back in a couple of minutes. And stay tuned. Stay safe out there. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.